you would already be living your ideal life. You would not be in debt. You would be making the income that you want to make. Because a lot of people saying, well, I want to be, I'm in charge of my life. I don't need a mentor. I don't need to learn from everybody. I don't need to learn from anybody, in fact. Nobody could tell me what to do. Don't tell me what to do. I know what's best for me. I am a smart person. I have 2 degrees. I have a PhD. Good. Good. How's that program working so far? I only have one question. How is that program working so far? Is it working? If it's working for you, great. But instead, if we don't even have 10K in a bank account, it's embarrassing. It is embarrassing. How many of you agree? Whatever age that you have, whatever age that you are, 10K. And do you think 10K is enough to provide security for yourself and for your family? For the people that you care? Is 50K enough? Is 100K enough? Not even enough for a down payment in Vancouver, a house. You need way more than that. You need way more than that. Way more. And I want you to be very honest with yourself. And I want you to look at your finance, your income, how far you're away from that. I want you to see who wants you to feel bad. I'm here to make you feel bad. Because the only way you'll change, the only way you'll do whatever it takes is I make you feel bad. Not to hurt you. I have absolutely zero intention. See who cares about you. I want to help you. I want to help you. I want you to feel so bad. I want you to look at your bank account. I want you to fucking throw up. I want you to say to yourself, I'm sick and tired of this. I will not settle. I will do whatever it takes. I will take that leap of faith. I will do the role play. I will pick up the fucking phone. I will glue that fucking phone to my face. I will make those calls. Because I know if I put in the time, there's no way I wouldn't improve. And if there's no way I wouldn't improve, there's no way I wouldn't close those sales. I could close those sales. I would make money. And you'll realize freedom is not free. Freedom is very, very expensive. Write this down. Freedom is not free. Freedom is very expensive. It comes at a very, very high cost. This is why most people don't have freedom. There's a price to be paid. There's a price to be paid. You either pay the price of freedom or you pay the price of regret. You choose one. You better do whatever it takes. You made it up to this point. You're here. Most people don't have that data. They don't have that luck. They don't have that fortune. When the student's not ready, the teacher won't appear. At least mentally, time and space, you made a decision. You're here now. I'm transferring my skill to you. Why do I teach? Aren't I sharing my secrets? Am I not creating competition? You see, this is different. That's the scarcity mindset. I believe it's like a candle. when a candle is burning, if I light up another other candles, would my candle stop burning? No. If I light up 100 candles in the room, I light up 1,000 candles in the room. All right, I light up 10,000 candles in the room. Would the rooms get brighter? We have more light. We have more warmth. So you being successful doesn't take away from me. If anything, your success is my success. Joe wouldn't be the director of internal sales if I didn't have HTC. I wouldn't have a leader like him if I didn't teach. This is great. That's prosperity. You know, I don't need to. I'm beyond that. I don't need to feel like, I hold on to my secret. I don't teach you. No, I share. There's so much abundance, so much wealth out there. I do not need to come from a place of scarcity. Not at all. And when you recognize by the end of 7 weeks, and I promise you one thing, by the end of 7 weeks, everything I've taught you, you will feel overwhelmed. By the time 7 weeks, when you feel how many felt already overwhelmed, by the way? We are now just class 5. And you realize, and some don't believe me, I'm going to tell you right now, by week 7, and I will tell you, everything I've taught you in the last 7 weeks, it is a fraction of a fraction, probably less than 5%. If I was to give a number, that would be an understatement. Less than 5% of what I know when it comes to closing. 5%, probably 1%.
I say less than 1, Sifu. I've seen a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and yeah, it's like barely scratching the surface at all with this. Seriously,
1% of what I know when it comes to closing. In fact, comment below for those who have been with me for some time now. You've been with me for a few seasons. Is in any way that Sifu is exaggerating? Oh, no. Sifu, am I exaggerating? That's for the students who have been with me for quite some time. And they are telling you it's 1% of what I know. And I'm not talking about 1% of what I know. I'm talking about 1% of what I know when it comes to closing. I'm not talking about copywriting. I'm not talking about business. I'm not talking about marketing. I'm not talking about deal making. I'm not talking about negotiation. I'm not talking about investing. I'm not talking about any of those things. I'm talking one single skill set out of my tool belt. Through 7 weeks, I've taught you maybe 1%. But this 1% is enough for you to go out and make 6 figures. But people don't believe me. Well, those who've been with me, they would see. They would see. And this is why they stay with me for such a long time. Because they would know they could learn from me for a long time. That many of my students, one of the I take pride in, when they found me and they tell me, Sifu, I'm so glad I found you because finally I could stop looking. You're someone that I know I could learn from for a long time. For a long time. And that's assuming if Sifu is not growing, if I'm not evolving, if I'm not learning. Which again, I'm going to ask my veterans here. Is Sifu growing? Am I staying in the same spot? Am I not learning anything new?
yeah, Sifu. The scary thing is you probably grow faster than any of us. In fact, with all the content and the books and the courses that you take, like it's incredible. Faster, exponential growth.
Because of the basics, the foundation that I have. So I'm able to grow at an exponential rate with the skill sets that I already have. I'm building on top of that. So that's what we're talking about. So I want you to kind of sleep on that. We're going to take a 3-minute break. But I want you to understand the concept. And in no way, I promise you, I'm not exaggerating in any way, shape, or form. It truly, this is like, this class, the way this is like a PhD. I'm teaching kindergarten. But I need to speak to you as where you are at. Because otherwise, what is so good if I try to impress you with, oh, look at how smart I am, look at how much I know, and no, I need to speak to you, the white belt, right? Black belt, white belt. I need to talk to you like a white belt and teaching you, okay, here's how to do a finger jab, right? Here's how you do this move. Here's how you do the stance. I need to teach it to you, like and enough. For most, 7 weeks. I mean, you go out there, compare yourself to everybody else. In any industry, when it comes to closing and sales, you are far above everybody else. But I want you to understand there is a lot. And I actually, even though how long the class is, I actually like, I hope, like, not hold back, but I dial down, right? I tone it down. I make it more simple for you. Very, very basic, very, very practical that you could use right now. So let's take a 3-minute break and then we'll resume.
All right, so making sure you're grabbing some water for yourself, stretching it out. Now, HTC family, I'm curious, who's learned something new today? Who's dived into something new? They didn't expect this. For Sifa to go this deep at this level. Of course, this is just the start. As he said, this is the kindergarten level, step 1. Now, Joel, if you're still with me here, I know that you were one of the most, and if not the most, dedicated student we've ever seen. Because, you know, we've watched you from, I remember I was one season behind you. Whenever it would come to class, you were always the first one there. Whenever it came to any opportunity, you were always the first one putting your hat in the ring. You were everywhere. If you could give 3 tips or 3 pieces of advice for students to almost follow in your footsteps or succeed in HTC, what would they be?
Well, thanks, Vikas. That's too kind. But same for yourself, because like I respect you so much. Like I've seen where you've come from, where you've grown to, and the success you've brought, and the things you've done for us is amazing. So a lot of kudos to Vikas as well. He's young. Vikas, you're way younger than I am, right? And the way you come from is incredible. So the three things, you know, I think one is definitely taking and I don't just say this lightly, right? When I say take it seriously, it's not what, you know, it's not cliche where you just say, oh yeah, just take it seriously. It's more than that. It's like we say Sifu for a lifetime, but really, what does that mean to you, right? What does that truly mean to you? What does it truly translate to you in your mind? Because I think to me, my personal definition, when I went in HTC, when I say all in, right, quote unquote, all in, quote unquote, Sifu for a lifetime, I meant like do or die. It was not like I'm just going to try and give it my best. It's about I'm going to go like literally not my best. It's all I have and I'm going to die trying. So like to me, that was my definition, right? It's like, and I think that's also how we get the most results out of everything, right? So I think that would be number 1. Number 2 would just to be like opportunities, right? We talk about opportunities. My team is constantly looking for top talent, top closers. Even if you're season 14, doesn't matter. We need top talent, right? But the only way to get yourself noticed, to get yourself out there, is like what Vika said, to be extremely active, you know, toss your hat in the ring. But not just that, not just for yourself, but be a go-giver. Help your brothers and sisters develop, nurture them, coach them, help them, you know, give them some tips, right? Be a go-giver. Help Team Dan Lok whenever we need help, volunteer. That's definitely the best way to get there, right? To get those opportunities. And the last thing I would say is to, and this is something I've seen, and this is something I think I share the closers quite a bit, is more of the, you know, preservation of what you've accomplished. Because I've seen a lot of top talent. It's very sad. They're like almost like one-hit wonders. You know what I mean? Like you're successful only for like a month or 2 months, or maybe, you know, 3 months, and then disappear. Literally, like just one-hit wonder. You're successful, really, really top closers for a couple months, and then they just gone, right? And it's sad. It's very, very sad. And I don't want anyone to become like that, right? Because we want to preserve and maintain the success. And I think that comes down to just trusting the vision and trusting in Sifu, right? Whatever Sifu says, does, even pivots, we trust and we move and we go. Because like personally, when you say Sifu for a lifetime, I take it as, I'm all in with Sifu. No matter what decisions he makes, I'm there, right? Right or wrong, good or bad, I understand. And even if I don't understand, I understand. I just do it. Just do it, right? Just do what Sifu says, right? I think that's so key, because then we're not going to be a one-hit wonder. But no one wants to be a one-hit wonder. We want to maintain that success. So, Vikas, that's what I would have for that.
Definitely, and well said. Very good points. HTC family, did you get that? If not, like seriously, watch the replays, because I remember when Joel and I were starting, we were always trying to get advice from people who were higher. What do we do? What do we do? And always learning. And Joel just literally put it on a silver platter for you, saying, "Here's how you get on the team." So it's a phenomenal way of putting that. And I also realized that you had this one unique skill about you that you've always brought on the table, that you always did, and it was the ability to see the problem. And you didn't just go and say, "Oh, here's the problem." You would actually solve it beforehand, before it even became a problem. Do you want to speak a bit about that and how you can sort of adapt that behavior and what it does to the team culture when you start to do that?
Well, because I think you hit the hammer on the head there. Sifu we always say this, right? It's like, can we even solve problems for Sifu before they come up? Like, I think we wrote this down in TDL, but I think it's great for everyone to write this down. Can I solve problems for Sifu before they even come up, before they even become a problem? So can you predict the future and clear all those obstacles before they even become an issue? I think that's a very key talent or key trait to have. It's valuable for sure. And I attribute that, because that's a great question, actually. I'm trying to think about how we nurture that. And I think it's could come more on, like Sifu teaches us, right? Like the deep thinking time. Like, do we actually invest 30 minutes to an hour of actually deep thinking? Because I'm going to be guilty of it. Some days I don't do it. Some days I'm guilty of not respecting my time block and actually doing the deep thinking. But then, Vikas, to answer your question, I find that the answers actually come from those moments you actually take a step back. It's like, you say, right, you take a step back to take 2 steps forward. It's those kind of moments where it gives you time to be critical, very critical about yourself, your situation, and then even any problems that come up, and then you solve them and you bring it to the table.
100%. And I know that you as a leader, you look for that in people that you're bringing up or people that you're training, your closest in training. They're always the problem solvers. They're the ones who are always looking for ways to resolve issues, which is something that, Sifu and the team, they're always looking out for, is who are the problem solvers and who are the ones that are going above and beyond to innovate, not only for themselves, but for the team. Now, also, I want to give everyone a quick reminder. Now, as the team is looking for closers, as people are looking for the top performers, it's actually all done within Discord. Now, I know Sifu mentioned it earlier, but what we do here in Discord is we actually have a bot, and it tracks all the numbers, everything. All the time you've been role-playing, everything you've been doing. Now, again, if you leave our Discord server and role-play somewhere else, it's not going to track it. But if you track it here, I can go, "Oh, hey, you know what, Joel? Check this guy out. He has over 100 hours in Discord on this specific channel, and he has been going every single day for the past month." And Joel, if I brought someone to you like that, like I said, hey, every month they've been role-playing over 100 hours consistently, what would that look like to you? What would you say?
Well, because that'd be a star. That'd be someone we'd be willing to give a shot. It might be rough around the edges, could be a diamond in the rough, but with the right polishing and shining, they'd be superstars. Like
100%.
Top. So yeah, well, we love that, because I love that.
and that's what the team always consistently looks for. So, I gotta ask, you don't really want to put in all those role play hours and become a master at high ticket closing, do you? You don't really want to spot on Team Day Unlock. You don't have to have it. Yeah, I don't know. Drop a yes below. I want to see who actually would want to make it on the team. Who would want to close for Sifu and work with Joel and learn from them? I see Oscar, yes. I see Jeff, Phillip. Perfect. There's the energy. That's the drive we need. And who's going to hop in the dojo after class? That's where the true warriors come out. That's where we see the true fighters that come through. Brilliant. So making sure you grab some water, you're ready, because I know Sifu will be back in just a few moments.
All right. And Joe made a great point that sometimes we see the one-hit wonder students where the first 2-3 months and they are getting booms, they're closing, they're making more money they've never made. And then somehow then they disappeared. Now it's very odd if you think about it. So think about if they are making more money than they ever made closing, why does that happen? Do you know why? Take a guess. Why do you think that happens? Yes, they self-sabotage. What else? Lower self, yes. Remember, you'll never outperform your self-image. You'll never outperform your internal self-image. People don't become who they want to become because they're too attached who they were. Who they were was so strong, and for them, even though it's working, but they got pulled back to their old identity. I just go back and do that, or I don't feel it's crazy.
Sifu, can I chime in?
Yes.
I think one of the other sad ones is the ones who think that they're better than you, Sifu. The ones who think they could go out and do their own thing.
Yeah, maybe
right?
they are, and you know, if they want to, if you learn and you go out there and you grow, and you know, I'm happy for you. Not everybody can. Everybody wants to make the team. Not everybody would make it to the team, and that's perfectly fine if they think, oh, that's great, right? It's a little bit like even back then, Bruce, and this is why I'm going to share you another. Would you like to hear another Bruce Lee story? As a Bruce Lee fan, I have so many very interesting stories. After in the Seattle years, Bruce was training a number of students, and a lot of them actually street fighters, and like coming from pretty, you know, couple guys, very good fighters already. And Bruce was training them. I was talking with, one, Jesse Glover, which is Bruce's first student. And then you have Ed Hart, who is a boxing champion, like crazy, both left, right hand, can knock someone out with a single punch. And a lot of great, phenomenal students. But there's some of them who are, after Bruce trained them, guess what? Now they want to challenge the Sifu. Now they're like, hey, Bruce, I learned your stuff. Oh, let's go. And that's afterwards. And this is a very interesting Bruce Lee. This is something that a lot of people don't know. You notice if you actually truly study Bruce Lee, Bruce in the beginning was actually teaching a lot of his truly amazing martial art. And then after a couple of students challenged him, and he would beat them, but then he actually started to share less. So then later on, he was actually sharing the wrong thing. People don't know this. If you study his different from Seattle years, Oakland, later on, after like Green Hornet, after he became famous, when he was training celebrities, yeah, he was giving them the fluffy stuff. Because I knew, because now I've trained with different, because I was wondering myself, how could it be like when I learn from one instructor, when I see other people who are training with Bruce, that how come there's such a, I don't want to come across the wrong way, but why is this such a big difference in skill set? It's almost a learning from different people. Then later on, where through my own research, I found out where, oh, no wonder. So Bruce was like being more reserved and say, okay, if you guys are going to challenge me, then why am I teaching the real stuff? So he stopped teaching them. So he would teach them bits and pieces. It broke his heart. It hurt. It broke his heart, right? He was in spite of all the Chinese martial artists saying don't do it, send a guy to challenge him, and he's teaching all these people, and these people was challenging him because Bruce was getting famous, and they knew it by beating Bruce. oh, he's a TV star, he's this and that, they would get famous too. So then Bruce stopped. He would train them, but he's just, train them bits and pieces, and all the more advanced and the real stuff, then he withheld. And this is why you see the first few students, they were far superior. And I truly wonder, like, what the hell? Like, what is going on? So he withheld a lot of that stuff. And that's why it's like the later, except Sifu Tet Wong, which is Bruce's like best friend, has been training with him, always his training buddy for many, many years before he passed away. I would invite to his home and train in the backyard. And you see many photos with him. If you read Bruce Lee's fighting methods, you see all the photos, almost most of them are with Sifu Tet Wong. Right? They have a phenomenal friendships. And yeah, it's crazy. I have so many Bruce Lee stories. But anyway, it is very true. It's very true. That, and they feel like, oh, they know and they think they're better and they know closing and all that stuff. I'm like, yeah, go ahead. It's so funny because as like I said, I'll share another quick story with you. Who wants story time? Okay, because there's a lesson here. There was a tiger, and this tiger, once upon a time, was struggling to survive because a tiger back then, many once upon a time, many years ago, actually didn't know how to hunt. Okay. And one day a tiger came across a cat, and the cat was like running and catching food and catching mouse and knows how to hunt. And the tiger's like, oh, can you teach me how to hunt? Right. And the cat's like, okay, I'll teach you how to hunt. I mean, you seem like a nice person. And the cat taught the tiger how to hunt. And the tiger's like, finally, after many months, now finally the tiger knows how to hunt. Now he's be able to hunt down the prey and be able to catch the animals and all these things. And then one day, now tigers are much stronger, much bigger in size compared to the cat. The tiger's like, all right. Okay, now you taught me everything, and now I'm going to eat this. I'm going to eat you for lunch. It's time. So then, without any warning, the tiger suddenly attacks the cat. And a split of a second, very quickly, the cat climbs up to the tree. And the tiger is like, oh, okay, how do we climb to the tree? I can't eat you. And the cat simply replied, well, I taught you everything that you know, but I knew someday you would do this to me, so I didn't teach you everything that I know. High ticket objection handling rule number 2. You got to grow some balls. Grow some balls. When you are on the phone, you cannot be afraid. You got to grow some balls. Grow a pair. Don't be afraid to be direct. Don't be afraid to be firm. Don't be afraid to ask those qualifying questions. Those qualifying questions. So we'll keep going. Now I'm a little bit scared because we are now in rule number 2, and today I actually have seven rules to teach you. We're like 2 hours and a half in. Only you taught you 2. But I want to make sure you get everything you need. We went a little bit over time of certain objection handling, but did you find it useful? Some of the extended role play, some of the additional role play. Are you getting more clarity? Are you getting like a different layers. Different layers. So, Joe, I will be the closer again, and I want you to be the prospect.
Sounds good. All right. Okay, so Dan, I mean, why should we pay you so much? There are other companies out there who charge way less.
Ooh, that's a good one. Ooh, okay. Well, Joe, maybe you shouldn't. Why do you think all these other companies charge way less? Why do you think we're more expensive than everybody else?
That's a boom.
Boom. Boom. Okay. That's it. I don't need to justify. Green Monster way. One more time.
Well, I mean, Dan, why should we pay you so much? There are so many other companies who charge way less.
Yeah, but their quality is way less. I mean, we are way better. Like our competitors, they are nothing compared to us. Like we have way more experience, right? Those guys have only been around for like a couple of years. We've been around a long time. They don't know what they're doing. You shouldn't trust them. Do you see the problem? Put in the chat. Again, how many of you ever done this before? Don't do it. I'll teach you one more way of doing it. Okay? A bonus. Joe, one more time.
Okay, so Dan, I mean, why should we pay you so much? There are so many other companies who charge way less.
Yeah, I mean, Joe, I mean, in fact, I know there are a lot of companies who charge less. In fact, I know a couple of companies who charge probably 1/3 of what we charge. And if you want, I mean, I could be more than happy to refer you to them. But is that what you want? Like, why are we talking today? Are you looking for just the cheapest price?
No, I mean, no, I mean, yeah.